What's up, guys? Welcome back to Security Guard Command. Lately, there's been a few videos that have been put up by Sean over at Security and Investigations Leadership Channel. Commander Hall put up a video, and the topic is domestic violence and how security should respond, and in this case, should not respond. Very dangerous situation, guys. Even police officers do not approach a domestic violence situation without backup, and even then they are very cautious because it is a highly volatile and highly dangerous situation. So as security officers, your hands are tied, guys, when it comes to these type of things, and I'm going to explain a little bit of why these situations are so volatile and why they're so dangerous. So guys, if you've ever been involved in an argument with a significant other, chances are the other person was very adamant about sticking to their guns and they refused to see things the way you were seeing them, and maybe vice versa. And so I'm sure the argument got very heated. There were words that were said that probably weren't meant. Emotions ran high, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say that argument was left unresolved, and both parties just got tired of arguing and they just gave up and walked away. And that's a good scenario when it comes to a domestic dispute. That is a good scenario. A lot of times when these emotions run high like this and things get heated, emotions take control, and then pretty soon people become angry, and then they start to act out on that anger in not so great ways. A lot of times violence happens, people get hurt, and it's all done in the heat of the moment. It's the passion of the moment, the heat of passion as it's called. And this is when people do things that they didn't want to do or they didn't intend to do, but they acted out based on their emotion. Guys, emotions are extremely unreliable, very unreliable. Emotions can compared to a roller coaster. When you are being emotional, you could go from happy to sad to angry back to sad again, all within a couple minutes. It's not difficult to switch all those emotions. They are based off of a lot of variables in our environment and can change from 1 minute to the next. You can be totally happy walking into a building, and the minute you see a mess on the floor that you have to clean up, I guarantee you're going to go from happy to upset very quickly. So let's talk about something, though, that happens during a lot of confrontation and arguments. There's something, guys, that's called cognitive dissonance. And this is a theory in social psychology. It basically describes the conflict between a person's beliefs and their behavior. And what that means is that these cognitive dissonance is basically when everything that you've grown up to believe is true is called into question in some way or another. And it's a deep-seated belief that essentially was key in forming who you are today. It formed your personality, your whole belief system, and your structure in life is all based off of what you were taught and what you were led to believe all your life. And guys, if those things that you formed your entire life around turn out to be false, what happens when somebody finds out that stuff is false is they become very angry. They become a lot of times very violent. They lash out because everything that they've ever known to be true has been called into question. And there's a saying that it's easier to fool somebody than to tell somebody that they've been fooled. And people tend to become very, very angry when you call into question the very things that are their core beliefs. And so in the case of domestic violence, a lot of times, and Sean brought this up in his video, when you are dealing with a domestic violence situation and you try to come in there and de-escalate and calm the situation, you're essentially interfering with how a person believes they should run their relationship. Whether their relationship practices are wrong or right, You can't make that decision for that person. And when you try to tell somebody that they're doing it wrong, that's a core belief that was most likely founded from childhood. So you're up against a lifelong set of beliefs that you're trying to convince somebody that they're wrong. And I guarantee you that that's going to do nothing but escalate the situation further. And as a security guard, you don't have a lot of options in your belt to defend against a situation that escalates in that manner. You know, this type of situation doesn't warrant deadly force unless somebody's life is actually being threatened at that moment. And if the fight is strictly verbal at this moment, yes, they're disturbing the peace, but nobody's life is in danger at that moment. So as a security officer, your best bet is to stand by and observe and report and stay out of it. Have PD on the way. PD has a whole lot more manpower behind them. If they need to, they can call a lot more backup. As a security officer, as it was mentioned, Commander Hall and Sean both mentioned that as security, we're oftentimes alone at a post with no backup coming. Guys, you don't want to be caught up in that type of situation. So I'll leave you with that. Guys, listen to the videos. If you see a domestic violence incident, stay out of it. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. It's not worth your time. With that being said, have a great day, guys. Stay safe, and I will catch you later.